Hey guys, this is the Overleveled podcast, episode 18. And we do have the usual panel members besides Taladia. Taladia is doing something. He may or may not show up for this episode. Who knows? He'll probably show up in the later half. And we have a couple of stuff to talk about. And first half, we're just going to do like the movie news and a big acquisition deal that's going to be going on and probably getting news about that. We're going to be talking about that and the Avengers trailer and some other cool stuff on that. And then also we're going to be talking about the Game Awards and PSX and some update on some games from, PSX. So quickly, I guess we're going to really talk about the big things later, and we're going to start small. And I guess starting small is going to be projections for the box office. For domestically, it's supposed to be, I believe, $240 million they're supposed to make this weekend, and which is pretty good for a Star Wars film. And overall,
pretty good for any film.
Yeah, pretty good for any film. Some films may want it more than the other. And then what else? Also, it's been getting really good reviews. People have been enjoying it, and I'm surprised about how many people have been enjoying it. They say there's some unexpected twists that people may like or may not like, and it kind of doesn't, follow that same formula that Star Wars usually does, which is very interesting to hear. Rian Johnson, for me, always he doesn't, stick to a certain I don't know how to say formulaic experience or something like that. He kind of goes the way he wants to go, and it's interesting to hear that. Hopefully I didn't get spoiled yet, because there's a lot of spoilers coming in. There's a lot of fake spoilers, real spoilers. I don't know which one's which. But overall, also it's supposed to be making $400 million this weekend overall, worldwide or something like that, I believe. So, which Inspector, what do you think about the box office prediction numbers and also the reviews coming in and all of that?
I'm not surprised with the projections. It's kind of in line with Force Awakens. Maybe I don't know if they're over projecting. They might be using a really optimistic number. I'm not saying it's gonna I don't think it's gonna open under 200, but I think it might be between, I don't know, 200 to 220. I don't think it will reach 240.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said with the reviews, actually, most of the reviews, or at least the small Twitter blurbs that I've read, some of them have been mixed. I've seen mixed reviews
On Twitter, or because there's actually legit reviews out now.
I know, but some of the reviews are still pretty mixed. From what I've seen, I've heard they praised there's a lot of great Star Wars moments. There's great cinematography, but overall it's a really uneven movie, and the tone is really weird. And it was it's a really funny movie, which is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pacing problems. So I've heard mixed things. Like me, I'm a casual Star Wars fan, so I'm just looking just to have a good time. And yeah, I'm not surprised with the reviews.
Yeah, because the stuff I've been seeing, overall, this websites that I've been seeing have been overall for me. I don't know which reviews you're looking at, because you may be seeing other people's opinions that are different than the ones I'm seeing. But no, overall, besides the ones from, I think, a New York publisher or something like that, and also Movie Nation, those were really mixed. But other than that, for me, Film Stage and The Wrap and Chicago Sun and all that have been positive.
Yeah, I'm looking at like Entertainment Weekly and also like the magazines, like the trades,
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Reporter, like Variety.
Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I see the ones you're looking at. Like I'm clicking on them and stuff like that. Like overall, like just skimming it doesn't seem like that
Yeah,
bad. It seems like it's more positive than negative, but
yeah.
it still has some negative
I'm
aspects.
not saying it's like fully positive. I'm just saying like it's
Yeah.
not overwhelming. It's not overwhelmingly positive. There's still like it's a mix, but more positive more on the positive side than negative. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the scores that are coming up and also the projections? And do you see this crossing $1 billion like Rogue One and The Force Awakens?
Well, to be honest, I haven't been really paying attention to reviews or anything because I've just been kind of keeping myself in the dark. I've just been waiting for the movie to experience for myself. So, uh, making $1 billion, though, I don't know, man, because Star Wars is a really popular brand. And, they've been make these newer Star Wars movies have been good to say the least. As much as I want them to make as much money as they can, I don't think it's going to get to that $1 billion mark.
Oh, I think it's gonna make it there easily.
I mean, if Rogue One made it,
Yeah,
can a main
I,
entry
I,
Star Wars film do it?
I
Like
guess. Like,
Force Awakens made $2 billion. I think $1 billion is like easy for Star Wars at this point, especially for a main
yeah,
episode. I
yeah,
think the main challenge is getting to
yeah. I
2
guess you're
billion.
right.
Yeah. Do I think it's going to make 2 billion? It's the real question. Is I don't think so. I don't think it's going to make two
It's
billion.
possible.
I don't think
Anything is possible,
I
but
think I think it might like like this next month, just like when Force Awakens came out, like I would say from release date till probably like mid to end of January, it's gonna be like Star Wars Mania. Like it's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
gonna be
oh
at the
yeah,
top of the box office until like the end of January or like mid January.
yeah. I know. I'm seeing it Thursday night.
I
Uh,
think I think it's gonna top off probably around where Avengers was, like probably like 1.6 billion, 1.7 billion. I don't think it's gonna make it to two.
yeah, Disney has been making some good films, making a lot of money besides Pirates of the Caribbean.
Seriously, like all like not all the big ones, like all like the only I don't think any Marvel movie reached 1 billion this year. I think all of them made around like 800 something
Yeah, yeah.
million.
Thor made almost 900, like 800
But
something.
but Beauty and the Beast reached 1 billion,
Yeah.
and like I was surprised that it reached 1 billion.
No, I
I didn't
didn't.
expect it
I
to
was
reach a
never
billion.
expecting Beauty and the Beast to make 1 billion. I was
Yeah,
expecting like
and
500 million,
I
six
wasn't either.
hundred.
no, I wasn't expecting as low as you guys. I was expecting probably like 700, 800, but not 1 billion.
Hey, that means they got some good stuff coming up, like Lion King,
We got Lion.
Aladdin.
I can't wait for Lion King. I'm so excited for Lion King.
Which those, if we got any indicator from Beauty and the Beast, they may end up making $1 billion as well.
Yeah, like
I'm so glad they brought
like
James Earl Jones back.
like Jungle Book which was the last one that James Favreau directed. I think that made like 950 million.
Oh,
Something
I didn't
like
even
that.
know that.
Let me look it up.
Jungle Book isn't as popular as like uh I wouldn't say it's as popular as Beauty and the Beast and Lion King
Yeah, it's not
or
as
even
popular as
Aladdin.
another property. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those 90s movies are like the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Like Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like those movies are the more Little Mermaid. That Little
Yeah.
Mermaid movie is not getting off the ground.
I didn't even know they were making one.
There was supposed to be one with Chloe Grace Moretz, but she bowed out,
Hmm.
and I can't find a star. Yeah, Jungle Book $966.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I love Jungle Book. That was my favorite movie of 2016.
And guys, if you haven't watched it, watch it on Netflix before it's taken out.
Yeah, watch it before Disney rips off all their movies and puts it on their streaming service.
Which we're gonna quickly talk about what that streaming service may be, because there's more news surfacing.
Yeah.
Besides that, yeah, no, Star Wars is Star Wars. It's gonna make a lot of money. I think it's fun, like not funny, but I think it's interesting to say that Star Wars back then and kind of the build-up, or not even build-up, it was a build-up. The original trilogy was a build-up. Then the prequels, it was like decreased, and then now it's back up again, which is just that interesting, like momentum, which we can make parallels into like that. The DCU can go back up and go through, because I think they're going through a Star Wars phase, kind of like the prequels.
This is what I think. Well, I think we're transitioning to a different topic.
Yeah, which I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I assume you're talking about like what happened with Justice League and the failure of Justice League in terms of box office and stuff.
And stuff coming out, such as we've been hearing, and Kevin Smith was talking about in his, I don't know if it was a podcast or
it was Batman on Batman.
Okay, so he was talking about what scenes may or may not have been cut, or that was shown to this individual that was also on the podcast, which she was off screen, of course. And she was talking about what was and what wasn't. Supposedly, Darkseid was definitely in the film.
The last stuff with Aquaman was cut out.
Yeah,
the last stuff with Flash was cut out.
And Cyborg, she said the Cyborg stuff, like the accident she saw on film. Also, she did say that she did not see the killing of
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. She said she didn't see that. She said she's seen Darkseid though. The Green Lantern stuff was really like cut early, so like none of the CGI was.
And she also said the history lesson was cut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. And supposedly like they and there was like tensions between not just Warner Brothers, but Time Warner, which owns Warner Brothers. People seem to like ignore that. Time Warner owns Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And Time Warner and Warner Brothers kind of didn't agree, because Time Warner didn't want Zack Snyder to come back, but it was too late because he was already working on Justice League when like literally right after Batman v Superman came out. So they couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And after Zack Snyder left, they brought in Joss Whedon, and everybody was like, and every site was like, oh, Joss Whedon is reshooting half the movie, and everybody's like, that's not possible with the time. And to me, I don't think delaying it would have helped, just because like the CGI would have been better, but the film would have still had the same problems. Like it's not just the CGI, like that was the problem. It was the 2-hour mandate, and it was also that the reshoots were they were trying to course correct too harshly, and I think that's what kind of spelt like I knew the Justice League box office was going to be bad right when I saw that. When I saw Justice League on preview night, there was only 10 people in my theater, including me. That's when I knew, like, why is this theater so empty? That's when I knew that the box office was going to be bad. I didn't know it was going to be that bad opening weekend. Like, Justice League is like barely, like worldwide, Justice League is barely crawling over 600 million, which is really bad.
And so you just said it's 600 million so far worldwide?
Yes, it's worldwide.
Okay, and do we know what the break-even point is?
I think like 650, 700, something like that.
Okay, and isn't there like usually like a 1/4 or 1/3 when it's usually like
usually
internationally?
Usually the the domestic like it's
Because I don't
hard
know how
because
that. Yeah, I don't know how that
it's
goes in.
hard when it comes like I think for this movie I think for most movies it's a 60-40
Mhm.
split. The main difference is that with Wonder Woman it was pretty much like a 50-50 split for foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
I think domestic had like a 52%. So like there are those that like unlike Beauty and the Beast, which I think was like 70-30 foreign to domestic.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. And so in terms of the DCU and the like what will happen in the future, I think with Zack Snyder gone, which I like that was such a bad way to go out for Zack Snyder. Like I kind of feel bad for Zack Snyder.
I think Zack Snyder's not probably going to work with WB ever
Yeah.
again. Just like I don't think George Miller is ever going to work with WB ever again with that
Oh, because of Mad
lawsuit.
Max. Because of
That
Mad
lawsuit
Max.
going.
Um,
So they kind of lost like two directors there.
yeah. What I think is that with Justice League, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, just reboot the universe." I'm like, rebooting is not that easy. Like, you just can't like stop and then because you have to think of casting, how long casting takes. Like for these movies, casting takes like a year, like probably like a year and a half
And it's
to
also
cast the right
hard for,
person.
certain characters. Like they have to be popular in order to recast in a
Yeah,
way.
you
You
also
like
you also
mhm.
sorry, I keep interrupting you, but
That's all.
you also have to get new directors, which probably don't want to work with you anymore. You have to debate salaries for both cast and directors. Um, so re- rebooting like a hard reboot and a recast is I don't think the best option. I think what they can do, I said this on Twitter. I compare this era of the DCU to the New 52. Um, if you guys watching don't know what the New 52 was, the New 52 was basically a line wide reboot of the DC universe back in 2011, spinning out of the Flashpoint event. And basically, what it was a full sail reboot. Everything started over, and the characters like Superman was different. Batman was pretty much the same, but had different aspects. The only character that didn't really change was Green Lantern, just because Jeff Johns was writing Green Lantern. But like the New 52, it brought in new readers, but it also alienated old readers because they didn't feel connected to the characters as they did pre New 52 because they were different. Like Superman was more impulsive. They were all like in their 30s. They're all like really young. And I compare this era of the DC films to the New 52. But I think going forward, what they're going to do is going to lean more into the rebirth aspects. So what they're going to do is they're going to peel back, reanalyze what they did right and what they did wrong, and go from there. And I think Flashpoint can be a good way to do that. I also think that the Matt Reeves Batman can be a good way to do that. I don't think they're going to reboot. I think the only person that they're going to recast is Batman.
Which is sad to say the least. Like it just doesn't seem like Ben wants to be there anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's because Batman's like a exhausting role to play, and he wants to keep directing, doing other films, which is understandable
yeah,
because he's a really good director, and he has the right to do what he wants. I mean, if he doesn't want to continue with the role, that's fine. But as fans, though, it's
yeah.
kind of like It
And
was sad.
like
And
they're
and Justice League wasn't even a high note, so we don't really know what film will be his last. It may be Justice League for all we know, but if it is, it's just not a
yeah,
great way to end things.
yeah. And like there are a lot of rumors. Like there's rumors that say Jake Gyllenhaal might be in the running. Also, like this wasn't a rumor, but John Hamm, he's
Okay.
up to play. Like to me, like I don't get these people who are saying they want to recast Batman, but they want to make him a younger Batman. But both Jake Gyllenhaal and John Hamm are around Ben Affleck's age. They're not young. Like John Hamm right now is like 40, 41. So by the time the Batman movie comes out in like 2019, 2020, he'll be around 44, 45, around Affleck's age. And then like Jake Gyllenhaal, who's like in his late 30s now, when the movie comes out, he'll be around 42, which is around Ben Affleck's age. So you're not de-aging them. They're the same age as Affleck.
Mm-hmm. But these are the rumor castings and stuff like that.
They're rumors. They're rumored. They're not confirmed.
So we don't
And
know whether or not they'll get the roles if
and,
this is
yeah,
happening.
and speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, like take that with a huge grain of salt because it's coming from John Campea. So and the last time he predicted the casting, it was Bradley Cooper for Ant-Man, and it turned out to be Paul Rudd. So yeah, you can't really trust him in terms of casting. So
Yeah.
that's my whole opinion. So Marvel DC fan, what is your opinion on this whole like reshuffling, and like the state of the DC?
I mean, like, it's kind of sad to see how things have ended up right now with what happened to Justice League and all the behind the scenes stuff and you know what the future kind of holds for you know DCEU and that kind of thing. And I don't want them to reboot it. Honestly, I don't think that would be smart at all. And I think, like you said, that like they're just gonna pull back, take a look at what was good, and then expand upon that. And I think, yeah, like the only character that probably is gonna get recast is Batman, of course,
Yeah.
like with Ben Affleck and that kind of thing. And I mean, um, I don't know. I don't know why people are saying kind of like a younger Batman, because it's just like with the rumors of like you know like Jake Gyllenhaal and John Hamm, like yeah, like them and Ben Affleck are around the same age, so the fact that they want them for a younger Batman is just kind of weird to think about. But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I mean, before like I think I said this on another like podcast, like for Flash, you know, I wanted them to do like Flash, you know, running around Central City and
Yeah.
you know, fighting the rogues and that kind of thing. But now, with how the DCU is now and going forward, I think now I'm starting to rethink things, and I think Flashpoint is kind of a good, uh, is kind of a good way uh, to fix some things about the DCU to kind of have a brighter future ahead of it. So
Yeah. And I think the main thing with the DCU is that as much as we like to think that Jeff Johns and John Berg were like the leaders, they really
No,
weren't.
they weren't.
They weren't.
I think they do need to appoint someone to actually like have like decisions and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that needs to happen. A Kevin Feige or a Kathleen Kennedy figure needs to
but
happen.
the problem with that is that they don't really have like a big producer. Like the only one that I can think of is Charles Roven.
Mhm.
Like that's the only one I can think of. Maybe Ben Affleck because he's been the executive producer of all these movies. But I don't think Ben Affleck wants to be here anymore.
no.
But like I like and speaking of like the shakeup, like supposedly John Berg is out. He's going to produce other movies. Like he's out of the DC films. Jeff Johns is being demoted to he's still keeping his position as chief creative officer at DC Comics, like the comics side and also the TV side. But like in terms of the movies, he's being demoted to an advisory role.
Yeah, it's like, but what are you be doing? You know, like what you said, they had no real decision, so you're gonna demote them when they didn't really have a real position to start with.
Like they didn't. I know. Like I hate saying demoted because it's like they were promoted in the first place, but like I just think after what happened with Justice League, the stockholders are gonna really jump on Kevin Tsujihara. I think Kevin Tsujihara might be out by February. I think there's going to be a complete shakeup on the upper echelon of Warner Brothers. Like I think Tsujihara is going to be out. I think Emmerich is going to be demoted, or just be out in general. Because the rumor is that they pushed out Justice League just so they can get their bonuses. And if that's true, that's like in terms of business, that is a really bad business decision. Like you must be really you're a really greedy person if you're pushing out a movie that's not even finished.
Yeah.
To get your bonuses because AT&T is going to be merging with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get out in front of the merger so they can get their bonuses. After this, I don't know if AT&T wants to do anything with the Warner Brothers. I think they're going to reconsider the merger after this whole debacle with Justice League. And like Justice League should at this point be at 800 million and climbing, but it's only at 600 million.
And I don't think it's gonna slowly climb, but it's like the legs are done. I think personally, it's
like it had no legs. Like it started at 90. It started at 93 million. Second weekend, I think like under 50 million.
Yeah.
Like it was like the drop was not good. And with Star Wars, the momentum is completely killed for Justice League.
And then like by January, it's gone from theaters.
Yeah, January. I think by the end of this month, it's probably gonna be gone.
Because I know Star Wars usually lasts a while in theaters.
Yeah, Star Wars usually lasts like 4 or 5 months in theaters,
which is crazy. Overall, though, in conclusion, I think it's going to be interesting with. Oh, I wanted to say none of the slates have been changed. They're still going, keeping what they have.
Yeah, which kind of doesn't matter because they don't really have anyone connected to it. Except for Wonder Woman and Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter. The slate. Well, I mean, Aquaman's in the can, so that's coming out. Shazam is in production. So basically, I would say half of the movies are happening.
Yeah.
I don't know why Justice League Dark is still on that slate. I don't think people are interested in Justice League Dark.
Yeah. I don't know why people thought Del Toro was going to direct Justice League Dark.
No.
People were thinking, hoping he would, and I'm just like, it's not a film like he would really want to go for.
Yeah.
In that way, any comic book character you'd see him do would be like Hellboy, and he's done that. I don't think he'll ever do something like that. It has to be something really, I don't want to say disturbing, but dark, and something that's like a weird mind to go for. You know what I mean? You see a Shape in the Water is a prime example of that. It's very different, very unique. It's something you wouldn't see many directors do. Yeah. So I don't know why people were hoping for Justice League Dark. But but we don't know who's going to be taking the helm of directing another Justice League movie. Who knows who's going to be? All we know, it's not going to be Zack Snyder. It's not going to be George Miller.
Yeah.
So, but
Man, this was a real downer. Let's get to a positive topic.
I mean, it depends on what you mean as a positive topic. Disney, most likely buying out 20th Century Fox besides their sports division and news division, which means they're getting their Fox TV channels besides the news and sports. They're also getting the movie side of things, and I kind of want to quickly explain to people what this means. What does this mean? Does this mean that they work together, or what does this mean? It's not like a merger. It's like everybody basically keeps their jobs. Their contracts are still in place for the movies, and basically the CEOs are still the same. It's just that those CEOs for 20th Century Fox would have to answer to the CEO of Disney, which is Bob Iger. And this deal is approximately
Emperor Bob Iger.
This deal is supposed to be costing Disney $60 billion, which is
crazy.
A lot of money.
That's 10 times. That's 10 times Lucasfilm deal.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm surprised about how much money they have, but it makes sense with the amount of movies they make money off of and merchandise. And it's crazy. And I also want to say they also get stake in Hulu, which now, because this announcement's happening anytime soon, it's supposed to happen probably this week before like the stock exchange and all that for the stock market. 60% Hulu, which means they could turn Hulu into their own streaming service, which makes kind of perfect sense in a way. Also, I kind of want to quickly, besides, those type of news, Fantastic Four, they still don't technically own the rights to the film. Yeah. And also, Fox doesn't own the rights to that film. They just distribute
it.
Which they would have to
discuss. Never heard of.
Yeah, same. I didn't even know it was a thing. So they would have to discuss that with Constantine Films, whether or not they want to reboot the Fantastic Four. Who knows? Some people say, it's not going to happen, which makes sense. The brand is technically tainted. It's suffered one reboot, but like 3 films that are bad. And overall, we're going to see Deadpool still come out if this happens, which Disney is going to be making money off of course. It's going to be interesting to say the least, where some people are going to say, is the next Deadpool movie going to be PG-13? I don't know. It could be, it couldn't be. I think personally that Disney shouldn't just be like, oh, it's PG-13, let's go. Then you're going to lose, the fans in a way. And the fans will know. The hardcore fans will know what they did. And personally, they can just have it under the 20th Century Fox, and that would be fine, right? And then overall, what else is happening? Oh, Gotham. Because they're owning that channel, Gotham will probably move somewhere else because they don't own the rights. It's just distribution rights.
It might just move to
maybe CW.
Do they get FX too?
Yeah. Pretty sure. FX was Legion, right? So it would make sense.
Yeah. I think Gotham is going to be done. I think Gotham is going to be over.
That or they move it to another channel. But I have no idea if CW wants it or...
I don't think CW wants Gotham. I think it would just confuse people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because, I want to say that Disney doesn't own like those rights. It's just Fox has the distribution rights.
Yeah, Fox has the distribution rights because WB still owns the rights to...
Because people are like, oh, Disney's going to own Gotham. No, they're not going to own Gotham.
No. Yeah. They're not going to own Gotham.
They're going to own Alien. Kingsman, Avatar, the other Star Wars films they supposedly didn't have the rights for. Like, I think it's A New Hope or Return of the Jedi, or maybe both. And also, like,
Yeah, like
the
no,
other.
all the old trilogy, because all the old trilogy was 20th Century Fox.
Hmm. So now they're gonna
Um,
have those rights. I don't know
yeah,
what other. And then the other big films for 20th Century Fox, Planet of the
Eight,
Apes. It's gonna be
yeah,
owned by them.
Predator.
Predator, Alien, and other films. Now people are gonna say, well, is X-Men Dark Phoenix gonna be canned? I
No,
don't think that's gonna be canned.
No.
It's
I don't think
still
it's gonna be canned.
because why are you gonna buy $60 billion and just
Shoot,
cancel a
like
movie?
I don't think Dark Phoenix is gonna be affected, because I think Dark Phoenix is shooting right now.
Yeah,
So I don't think, or I think it's done shooting. It's either shooting or done shooting.
I think it comes out in November.
Yeah, it comes out next. Yeah, it comes out next November. Um, so I think it's either. Yeah, I think it's pretty close. I think it's gonna end shooting probably like in January or something. Yeah, New Mutants is like all of the 2018 Fox movies aren't gonna be affected. Um, it's what's after
It's a
that
question.
is a question. Like to be honest, I don't think Disney is interested in Alien or Predator. I think they're gonna sell those rights to like Sony or Warner Brothers. I just don't think they're interested in those properties.
That's true, but devil's advocate, right? You just spent $60 billion in getting a studio, and getting a big studio like that. Why would you do that? Like that's to me as being devil's advocate. Why would you spend so
Yeah,
much money and just sell some of the
yeah,
rights or half of the rights to different movie
yeah.
um,
It's really weird because
publishers?
like half the assets that they bought aren't aren't series that I would think Disney would want to make. Like I don't think Disney
Mhm.
would want to make Planet of the Apes movies or Alien movies or Predator movies.
No,
Like
my thing is, mhm.
all the Fox movies are pretty like mature. Like I'm not saying Disney movies aren't mature, but they're not really like movies that I think Disney would be interested in making.
Mhm. Okay, we could go and say, well, let's say when new movies come out, right? And let's say Alien does, and 20th Century Fox makes it, of course. Will they put the Disney logo, or is it just going to be 20th Century Fox and that's it? Like,
Yeah,
how's that going to go?
I
I
mean
think
when they bought Lucasfilm, like usually the like before they bought Lucasfilm, Lucasfilm was owned by Fox, and
Yes.
they had the Fox logo. But after they bought Lucasfilm, they just replaced it with the Disney logo. So I think it's gonna be they're either gonna put both, or they're gonna or that might confuse people. I don't know. I think they're just gonna put Disney. I think they're just gonna put the Disney logo in front.
Because my thing is, let's say if they pursue, this is me being devil's advocate, we don't know what's going to happen really. They just put 20th Century Fox for like an Alien movie or a Predator movie or something in between that, which then doesn't destroy their kid friendly image that they want or something like that. That could be a case, right? They could just have that there and they're still making the money, which could totally be the type of case. I know people say the same thing with like Touchstone or something like that. The Disney logo doesn't pop up and they make money off of that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Who knows? It may go one way or the other, or it may be something completely different that we don't know at all. But do you see that happening?
Wait, sorry, my I wasn't really paying attention. What did you say?
Like saying like they could possibly just have it like the 20th Century Fox, right? Like they do with Touchstone, which Disney owns, or something like that.
I
If they were to
maybe.
pursue like Predator or Alien, that doesn't destroy their kid-friendly image,
Yeah.
and that's a solution. I don't know
Um,
if that'll be a solution. I don't know which direction they're gonna go when this happens.
like I don't know, because what would Ridley Scott think? Because Ridley Scott, I think, owns parts of the rights to Alien. So you would have to ask Ridley Scott about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But we got like, speculation on what may or may not happen, but what are your thoughts about the $60 billion deal, and what do you kind of see in the future, what Disney may or may not do in essence?
I think I think 60 billion is crazy. As I said, it's 10 times. I mean, Lucasfilm is totally different from Fox, because Lucasfilm was originally owned by Fox, but they bought Lucasfilm from Fox. Well, Lucasfilm was owned by George Lucas, but it was distributed, like it was a production company within Fox. I don't know. I feel the main problem with the Fox merger is that people are focusing more on the small picture. Because right when they announced that Disney might be buying Fox, is Fantastic Four and X-Men are in the MCU, or are going to be in the MCU. That was everyone's first reaction to this Disney Fox merger. They didn't pay attention to Alien. They didn't pay attention to Planet of the Apes. They didn't pay attention to like any of the other properties. It's just the Marvel that everyone cares about, because Marvel is Disney's biggest franchise.
Yeah, which I don't understand why people were saying that, because when I heard about it, I was like, wait, what happened to Planet of the Apes and all those films? Like,
Yeah.
Like, people are just like, don't worry about it, man. Just don't worry about it. We're getting Fantastic Four and X-Men. Come on. And I'm just like, yo, do you hear yourself right now, man? Like, legit, when talking to people in comments, I'm like, damn, you guys are so selfish. It's like,
did you watch War of the Planet of the Apes, man?
Yeah. It's like, damn, I was just like, you guys are kind of selfish in a way.
Yeah. Like, those are the, like, I don't want to say Marvel shills, but like they're just the Marvel fans. I get, and it's weird because half those I feel half those fans are just bandwagon. Like, they see a lot of people saying, "Oh, the Fantastic Four and X-Men are coming in." They're like, "Yeah, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are coming in." Like the comic book fans are like 1% of the entire population that watches these movies. And what's weird is that the Fantastic Four is like, it's not a sellable property at Marvel. Like, everyone says like, "Oh my god, the Fantastic Four," but like nobody buys the books. Like, the last time people talked about the only runs that people talk about in the Fantastic Four are the original Stan Lee run, which was in the 60s, and the Hickman run. Those are the only two runs that people talk about, and maybe Mark Waid. So 3 runs. But other than that, like, even then, the book didn't sell. So, and plus, like, in terms of movies, I don't think Fantastic Four would sell well for Marvel, because people are used to the Fox movies. And introducing both the Fantastic Four and the X-Men this late into the universe, I don't think will work. Like, how would you explain that?
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, not everything needs to be explained, but those are 2 big groups. Those are like the foundation. Those groups were pretty much the foundation of Marvel through the 60s. Like, well, the Fantastic Four through the 60s, but the X-Men mainly through the 70s through the 90s. So those are like 2, like, those are like, especially the X-Men, which is like a huge Marvel property. And I think the X-Men are more they're more likely to be put into the MCU. But I don't think Feige is interested in the Fantastic Four, because in terms of the movies, like, in terms of box office and also fan reception and critical reception, it's a tainted franchise, and I don't think Kevin Feige would want to touch it. So
I know people would be like, well, they did it with Spider-Man, but like the thing is though of Spider-Man is like he's such a huge character, and you kind of can like overlook that
yeah,
aspect of what
like
happened. Like he's one of the
the
biggest.
Fantastic Four are really the Fantastic Four are like really niche. They have a really small but vocal fan base.
Yeah.
Kind of like Shazam. They have like Shazam has a really small has a really small fan base, but the fan base is very vocal.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of X-Men, I think, as I said, I think X-Men is more likely. But how would you explain like New York has been like decimated like
Yeah.
like 5 times, and where have you been?
That's true. All I'm hearing is, I know the speculations, rumors are going around. Well, first I want to address one rumor. They're gonna have Wolverine and Avengers 4. I was like, what type of rumor is this? Like,
No.
what?
Where did you come up with that?
I was just like, when I like saw those like website like headlines, I'm like, dude, it's not gonna happen. They're already like almost done shooting the film and stuff. How? Like, no, it's not gonna happen. I don't understand. But I know supposedly what the Ant-Man and Wasp films are supposed to. This is what I heard from some website. I don't know if it's true or not, or confirmed or not. Is like alternate realities and stuff like that. They're supposed to be exploring that in the film, so to speak. So that could somehow make their way into that. I don't know if it's true. I would have to do more research. That's what I'm hearing though so far. Is like the alternate realities and stuff. It's kind of like slightly touched upon in the original Ant-Man film, but not really. So that's what I think may or may not happen. But more of a DC fan, what do you think about everything that's happening? What are your thoughts on future properties, and even the possible of movie of X-Force? Is that's gonna keep on happening, or Disney's gonna say no to that, or what?
I mean, first of all, the 60 was million dollars.
60
like
billion.
That's insane. Like, Jesus Christ. And like, I mean,
you can fund
Marvel,
a country with that money.
You could end world hunger with that. But yeah, like, of course, I mean, the X-Men are most likely gonna join the MCU fold. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they'll probably find a way. The Fantastic Four, I mean, you're gonna have those group of people probably bitching at Kevin Feige to put them in regardless, even if it is a tainted franchise. Gotham, I don't know. I think it just might end, or at the most, I don't really see them at the CW because they already got enough with all the shows they have on there. And I mean, in terms of like the other franchises, like Planet of the Apes or Alien vs Predator and stuff, they could just slap the Fox logo on there just so that they don't have to put Disney in that kind of. They're not out of their like all ages, kind of group there. So, I mean, I could see that happening, but I don't know if they are or not. So we'll have to see. But yeah, like it's just crazy to think like Disney is like literally buying another like film studio. I mean, they bought LucasArts and like it, but this is a massive like
it's like one of the big companies like Universal, Sony,
Sony, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And they're just outright buying it. Just feel like, hey, mine.
Well, they're not buying it. They're buying the assets.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just insane. That's all I really have to say about it.
Yeah, I do want to say though, if they're not going to use the Fantastic Four, I totally see them using their villains though.
Yeah,
I
you get
totally
like
see
Galactus
Doctor
and Doctor
Doom.
Doom, but the thing is, you can't really have Doctor Doom or Galactus without Reed Richards. That's kind of the problem, because Doctor Doom's whole motivation is revenge on Reed Richards, and the only reason why Galactus won't eat Earth is because of Reed Richards and the Ultimate Nullifier. So you can't really so you can't really have their villains. You might you could probably add Super Skrull, but that's probably the only one. So
no, when you say asses, because I know from the report and stuff like that they're also getting the a total of 60% stake in Hulu. So
yeah.
I don't know if they're actually buying Fox and just leaving the news and sports to themselves, but they're also getting Hulu, which means then they could make a streaming service
That's
from
huge.
existing Hulu. Because they can. They have the stakes and shares of majority, which is 60%, right? So they can technically take over the company itself, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how stakes work.
Because that's what I remember, like some stuff about business is if you have majority of the stakes, you can do a takeover in a way. Which that means they don't have to create a brand new streaming service. They can just make it out of Hulu, which kind of creates it faster in a way, which is insane. I completely forgot though. We got one more thing. The Avengers trailer came out. We didn't get to talk about it because, of course, the podcast hasn't been, on for a while. So, overall though, last I saw, this trailer is at 96 million. I'm not surprised if it's at 100 million views right now with 2 million likes, and it's doing some numbers, which I didn't think the trailer would do. I'll be honest, I didn't think it would. Maybe I'm a very low expectation guy.
Thanos has become a meme.
Oh yeah, dude, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it.
Well, I'm Thanos. Welcome to my pawn shop.
Dude, do you not see the videos of like Stone Cold and stuff like that?
Yeah,
like the entrance. I was like, what the heck?
They're making him Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. They're making him Joss Whedon.
I'm just like, I'm done, man. I knew it was gonna happen.
I think my favorite thing I saw come out of that was there's a picture somebody drew where it's Thanos as the salt guy he's pouring the Infinity Gauntlets down his elbow. Oh my god, dude, that laughed so hard when I saw that.
Oh man, but I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer, and what I liked about the trailer is, guess what? They didn't reveal much. Which, no, I lied. I think they revealed one huge thing, which I kind of wish they didn't, which was with Vision, which, I mean, we knew as comic book fans and stuff like that. We knew it. We knew it was going to happen. I didn't think casuals knew it, so I kind of wish that they didn't show that. Granted, it could be misleading, and it could be a totally different scene that's going to actually happen. Who knows? I totally think it's going to happen in that scene.
Another thing that has become a meme, the "Get this man a shield." That's become a meme.
Oh man,
it's like, get this man some KFC.
Oh, oh my god,
that's one of my favorites.
Get this man some KFC. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I kind of wish I want to compare both trailers for the Comic-Con and this to see how much of the CGI progressed.
I know you can't, but you can't really tell because of the potato cam and half the screen being cut off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I kind of wish we got that footage early on to see, because I kind of want to see that process and how much is changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would be very interesting. But overall, I'm impressed about the facial capture mocap. But granted, we already knew about this mocap because Andy Serkis has been working with Disney very heavily. You've seen that with Star Wars. You've seen it with Avengers, Age of Ultron, Black Panther. It's like he kind of gave that technology for them, so it kind of makes sense that we see that shown and displayed. And yeah, I think the mocap is really good from what we're seeing for Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin has a menacing voice, which I'm glad he does. If he had a really terrible voice, then
I mean, Josh Brolin just sounds like Josh Brolin. Like he has the same voice for everything.
Nah, not in the what's that Emma Stone movie with him in? I forgot what it was. To me, he sounded different in that film.
Well, I mean,
It's the
he kind of has
mafia
the same like
movie.
he kind of has the same like deep voice. I think they probably like put some filters over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they put some filters over it. Like that's definitely not his voice, but like it's his voice. But I think like they deepened it a little bit,
Which is good because you need to have it deep. It's kind of like make it or break it if it's not like that. Which I'm glad they did. I'm glad that they kind of show that the man's powerful and stuff like it. Granted, we didn't get to see the Comic-Con where he throws a moon
throws a
or
planet, yeah, throws a moon at people,
which is kind of sad.
Which they should all be dead if he throws a moon on them.
Hey man, it's a comic. It's a comic, man. You gotta have some unrealistic expectations for that. But what else? I liked it when I saw it from Spider-Man: Homecoming, so I'm a fan of it because it kind of reminds me of the Doc Ock Spider-Man suit. I forgot what it was. Superior Spider-Man, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I like it. It just reminds me of it. Does it remind me of a classic Iron Spider suit? No. It reminds me of the Superior Spider-Man suit, which I really like the Superior Spider-Man suit a lot. And what else? I do think people are saying to expect a lot of death in this movie. I say no. I say you expect those deaths in Avengers 4. I think you're just going to get 2 death tops in this film. And I think the original Avengers and Avengers 4, most of them will be dead. But yeah, I do think, though, we got a couple confirmations about Loki, right? He has the Tesseract, which we saw in Thor Ragnarok, which makes sense, right? Connects that. Also, we got Hulkbuster, which it seems like either A, Hulk is in the Hulkbuster armor suit or it's Bruce Banner. One or the other, who knows? We see Doctor Strange in them. We see the Guardians at the ending with Thor and Thor.
Here's my question with that: How would Hulk know how to?
That's true.
The Hulkbuster.
Then it might be Bruce Banner. If it's Hulk, then it makes no sense. I don't know.
Even if it's Bruce Banner, it makes no sense. I don't know how Bruce Banner would know how to work it.
That's true.
Maybe Pepper Potts is remote controlling it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we did see in the earlier shot with Black Widow and also Bruce Banner.
Speaking of Black Widow, I hate the blonde hair.
You hate it?
I hate it.
I hated it in that scene right there because it made it look weird to me. But in the dark areas, it's fine for me. But I think in the bright areas is a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
Dark areas is fine. I don't know. The bright area makes it look white, really white.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just looks weird because I don't. Is Scarlett Johansson is she naturally blonde or is she naturally brunette?
I
think she's naturally blonde.
I don't think that's her natural blonde hair, though.
No.
Yeah, I think that's dyed, but it's definitely dyed because it looks really light. Let's see. I feel it just looks weird. The blonde hair or the light hair, white hair, or whatever it is.
Or a wig, who knows?
Maybe or a wig. Maybe it's a wig. I don't know. Just because I'm so used, I'm just so used to Black Widow with red hair, and with Natasha, that's a defining characteristic of her with the red hair. I don't know why she would have blonde hair. I guess if she's undercover, but why would she be undercover? Because S.H.I.E.L.D. is totally dissolved.
No, I think what
But
they're gonna try and do is because there's a manhunt out for Cap and all those people.
yeah,
That's why I think she'll have the dye blonde wig. I don't know what they're gonna
but it
say.
doesn't matter because she still looks the same. Like she still has the same face. Like changing your hair won't. I don't know.
I mean, that's true. I mean, hey, man, Steve Rogers was wearing a hat, and supposedly no one notices he's
Yeah,
Steve Rogers. Come on now.
yeah. It's like, oh, I have a nice beanie. I'm gonna wear my beanie. No one's gonna
Suspect the
notice.
thing. That's what I'll do if I'm on the run.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if he's wearing like a baseball cap because the baseball cap kind of covers your eyes. But like, other than that, like, I thought the trailer was good. I thought the trailer was kind of uneven, but I liked it. I didn't love it.
I think if I watched both, right? When the new one came out, I watched both. I personally like the first one more. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like this one, I guess I was put off because it was basically like all Earthbound,
Hmm.
and the Comic-Con one was more cosmic.
Yeah.
So that kind of like threw me off.
Hmm.
Um, this one was more of like, oh, like it's all come to this, and like it has the Avengers theme,
Hmm.
um, which to me, I like the Avengers theme. It doesn't really give me like chills like some people does. Like I like the theme, it doesn't give me
Hmm.
chills. Like this was a good rendition of the theme.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely more
Mhm.
dark than it was in the first Avengers.
I think it's been confirmed. Well, not confirmed, but it's basically pretty much confirmation that the Soul Stone is at Wakanda, right? Like that whole battle scene, I'm assuming is them trying to take the Soul Stone from there, right?
Yeah, and that's also one of the things that was kind of like I didn't really like this, where it's basically the Avengers just fighting another army of monsters.
I mean, but
Uh,
that's with all comic book events, really. Like in
I
terms of
know,
that.
but it's just like, but when you do it in like Justice League had the same problem where like, yeah, it's cool to see all of our heroes fight this huge army because it gives them like a bunch of things to do. But the problem is that there's no stakes because everyone's going to come out fine.
Yeah, I think though, like, there's a point though, right? You're not gonna see an
Yeah,
army at like the collector's base or
yeah,
what's the other
like
place? The Nova Corp, right? You'll
yeah,
see it at
Xandar.
Wakanda because it's a big country. Black Panther's protecting the stone. It makes sense for them to lead a big ass army to take that stone away. But if it was like a big ass army in each of those other places, like the collector's space, then I would have that issue. I'd be like, all
Wait,
right, this is getting
wait,
a little
I have
out
a
of hand.
question. Does the collector have both the Power Stone and the
It's just
does he have both the purple and the red stone? Does he have
no,
both the
No,
Aether
no, no,
and
no.
no,
The red
because
one is the collector. The purple is at the Nova Corp.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then Vision has the Mind Stone.
Yeah, Vision has the Mind Stone. And the
And
Tesseract is the Space Stone,
which he
looks
gives,
bad.
which is also shown in the in his gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
And then, the Time Stone is with Doctor Strange. I'm gonna say either two things. Well, two things happens, right? All of them die, but then Doctor Strange rewinds time, which could totally happen.
That or just Tony or Cap gets the Infinity Gauntlet and they rewrite. They go back to the beginning or something.
But I think in Avengers 4, I don't know what's going to happen with Avengers 4 because it's technically a two-parter, but they're not calling it a two-parter because it's being filmed back to back. So I totally see one or two things. If they rewrite it, I think someone's still going to have to die, or at least two people. I think if I have to place my bets, if I really want to place my bets, if them killing somebody permanently, it's going to be Captain America. See, Iron Man's a wild card because like Robert Downey Jr. has been saying now, like he doesn't know if he's gonna do it anymore, and like it's getting to that point. He's even doing like these, quotes like saying like he'll hang up the jersey, and all that. So I have no idea. And is Disney, kind of done paying him so much money to be in these films? Like, I have no idea. I say he's a wild card. It can go either two ways for him. I do think Cap will die, and Vision, I think, is going to permanently die as well. I mean, Hawkeye's like, I really don't see much use for him anymore. It's like, and I feel bad. Even the actor doesn't know what they're going to do with him. Like to the point, he doesn't really serve a purpose, which I know a lot of Hawkeye fans want him to serve a purpose, but it's just.
I would find this. I would find this funny, and I don't think this will happen. But Hawkeye, if you guys haven't read Avengers Disassembled, Hawkeye has this infamous scene, and Brian Michael Bendis, who wrote that comic, people make fun of this moment. So Hawkeye, so like Avengers Mansion blows up and all that stuff, and like the Kree attack, and how Hawkeye dies is that his quiver catches fire and he can't get his quiver off, so he grabs a Kree. He yells, "Not like this." Not like this, and then he takes the Kree up into the Kree ship. He's like this, and then he blows up the Kree ship.
What the fuck?
I would find that hilarious if they did that moment in Infinity War. I would find that hilarious.
I'm done. That's too much.
You should look it up. It's hilarious. But
was he like trying to be intentionally funny, or was it all unintentional?
No, he just wanted to go out. Like, I guess
not like this.
No, I was talking about like Brian Michael, like doing that. Was it supposed to be funny or no?
I don't think so. I think he wanted to have Hawkeye go out as a hero, but it just turned out to be a joke.
I'm done. Okay, Marvel DC fan, what did you think about the trailer?
I mean, on the first viewing, I really enjoyed it. It left me with some questions, and it kind of brought me to this place where back, like, around where, like, the Avengers, the first movie came out, and how I felt after seeing that. Like, I was just amazed by it. And then, I mean, after, like, repeated viewings, it's just like, it's fine. It's all right. So, I mean, you mentioned about like killing off characters, and I think honestly, it would have to be somebody like huge, right?
Oh yeah, so I mean, if it's just Hawkeye, then everyone's gonna be like, we don't give a shit.
If it's like Pepper Potts, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, Pepper.
I'm just picturing like Hawkeye, like they're all ready to fight, and he's pulling out like an arrow or something, and then Thanos is just like, nope, smacks his ass away. But
well, he did that to Iron Man. He just smacked the hell out of Iron Man.
Yeah, just be like, nope, get out.
It would have been. It would be interesting if he just snaps the neck. Pow! Oh man, that'd be so bad.
Just what'd be funny is just that infamous in the Infinity Gauntlet comic where Thanos, he snaps half of reality out of existence.
I totally don't think it's gonna happen though. Like that's like too much money there.
What if he just snapped his fingers and all he did was just erase Hawkeye?
Oh shit! No one remembers him.
No. Like
not
Hawk
even his wife. Like who is Hawkeye?
Who?
Like Hawkeye?
Who's that guy? Yeah, the trailer was good, I'd say.
Did you see the previous one though?
Yes.
So which one do you think was better though?
I think honestly, Potato Cam was a little bit better.
Yeah, I kind of wish they released it, but they're not. Like, I do want to say what an interesting scene from the first one, not the original, but the Comic-Con one was like Thanos like crushing Thor's skull was interesting. Yeah. I was like, wow, I did not think they were going to do that.
Like moving a moon, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Do we think though that this movie is gonna cross 1 billion based off the views for YouTube and the records is breaking on YouTube, which is crazy for a movie trailer to do so, and having 2 million likes and almost I think it's around 100 million views. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Do we see them crossing the $1 billion mark, Inspector?
I think yeah. I I think I think you'll be around. I think it will be between. I don't think you'll get up to the first Avengers. I don't even think it will get up to Age of Ultron. I think it will be right in the middle between Civil War and Age of Ultron. Probably between like 1.3 billion, something like that.
Oh, so you're saying Civil War would be like the minimum, right?
Yeah, Civil War would be the minimum, and Age of Ultron would be the maximum.
Because I don't even think Age of Ultron, in terms of YouTube trailer views, like it ever came close to that though.
No.
I know, but like even still, Age of Ultron made $1.4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think trailer reviews don't really matter because with trailer reviews, like one person can watch the trailer like 50 times.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, that's true, but usually though, like it kind of has a correlation. Not like this huge correlation, but you know what I mean. Because like if we had like Justice League at like 38 million, and that was, I think, which I kind of wish Justice League had, was more promotion to the film.
Justice League didn't really have that that good of promotion.
And that's kind of like I want to address this. Like I think though WB needs to have like more promotions, or hire somebody. You know what I mean? Because like Disney somehow knows how to do it for some reason. I don't know.
I feel the problem is that even with Marvel, they start marketing these movies too early.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, it's a mistake. It's a mistake when you're putting out a trailer a year and a half before the movie comes out. Because what you do is that you put out the trailer and then there's nothing, like it's totally dry for the next like 6 to 7 months until you get like articles and then you get another trailer.
Yeah, because like when does usually trailer 2 come out? Like 3 or 4 months later?
Yeah. Well, in terms of Justice League, they came out like 8 months later.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
the first trailer, like the first Homecoming trailer came out in July of 2016.
So you think they should approach it like what Avengers is doing or something like that?
I think they should approach it kind of what Star Wars is doing. Like they start marketing it like 6 months out.
Well, yeah, that was April, right? Star Wars' first trailer was in April, so that's like what
that's like 7 months.
Like 8 months. About 8 months.
Yeah. I mean, that's different from 18.
Yeah, that's true.
But
oh, no, wait, okay, yeah. The trailer for Avengers is basically like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, 5 or 6 months.
So it's around the same time frame as
and with Civil War, it's weird that when Marvel with their team movies, they start marketing them like closer, but with their solo movies, like if you look at Doctor Strange, I think the first trailer was around February or March, and it came out in November.
Yeah.
So it's weird how Marvel does that with their marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because like not a lot of people know who Doctor Strange is, so they had to like
kind of hype it more,
hype
or
it up.
Something like it.
And I just feel like, especially with the marketing for Justice League, I just don't think that WB was confident. Like that's why there wasn't any marketing for Justice League. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is it for this transition topic. I don't think we've done this yet, but this is going to be going for the movies. What is your most anticipated film for next year? Yeah, we'll start off with Marvel DC fan.
That's tough because I mean Avengers is probably in that list, but oh man, I don't know if you guys saw like last like during the weekend that the Miles Morales Spider-Man trailer.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if any of you caught that, but
quickly talk about it.
yeah,
To me, it's another one of those things where I think they started marketing it too early.
yeah,
Like
because that literally comes out in like a year.
It comes out in a year.
So.
Like I think it was a mistake. You could definitely tell that like everything looks really stiff. Especially Miles Morales. Like when he took off the mask, I'm like, that looks like plastic.
Yeah.
But like the city looks nice. But like other than that, I wasn't really that impressed. Then again, it's just a teaser, but like it didn't really like entice me that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think visually it looks neat, but I mean there wasn't really much else that caught my attention afterwards.
Yeah.
But like that shot where he's falling and like you have the like it's upside down kind of like that where he's falling. I mean that was cool, but like that's it really.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Red Hood? If you saw the trailer or not?
I've seen it. I really can't form my opinion yet on it because just in terms of it's really early. I think that to me is a very big mistake from Sony's part. But overall, it's like I wish that they kind of do it later, but oh well. I don't know. I think it's decent. I need to see more from it. I can't really say I want to see it or I don't want to see it. I'm just in that middle right now for
same.
whether or
not.
But okay, yeah. Continue with the transition question, I guess. Which film, Marvel DC fan, do you think is your most anticipated?
Honestly, I think I'd just have to go to Infinity War as my most anticipated.
I'll go next, and I'll say the Han Solo. No, I'm just kidding. Not the Han Solo film. That's supposed to happen a couple weeks after Avengers, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That's gonna just cannibalize itself, but oh
yeah.
It's hard because there's not many movies coming out, I don't think, next year compared to this year. This year I thought was really good. It's like,
Yeah, nothing is really enticing.
All we get. This is just basically off comics, but I don't know any other good film besides comic films that are really coming out that's going to stick out to me. I know that we have Avengers.
Are you sure you don't want to see Alita Battle Angel with the weird
big eyes? Like what?
Oh,
I don't even know what that film's about. Like I saw like a thumbnail for it, and I was like, nope. Black Panther is supposed to come out, and they got Aquaman, and also Ant-Man and Wasp. I don't know. Can anyone name me another film besides comic book movies that's interesting?
I'm interested in Tomb Raider. I'm interested in.
Oh damn! I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't know. I hated that trailer. I hated seeing it.
To me, it looks very meh.
I liked it. Yeah, but it looks. I think the problem with video game movies is that they all look generic. Like the problem is that like this is what I'm worried with Uncharted is what they're going to do is that because basically Uncharted and Tomb Raider are basically just Indiana Jones. Like when you turn them into a movie, they're basically just Indiana Jones, and you can't really like shake that comparison.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but like for me, I don't get that. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I didn't like the trailer.
I'm just saying the broad concept.
Oh yeah, I know, I got you. It's just like I just didn't like the trailer. I don't know. It didn't entice me. It didn't like make it seem for me like I want to go out to see this film.
Yeah, I think the problem is that I don't know. Like, I liked the trailer more than you guys. Like, I liked it. I didn't love it, but like, I don't get why they're combining both the 2013 reboot and Rise of the Tomb Raider, because they're like two totally different games.
Yeah, because they didn't even in the original. Well, this is with all games I guess you've played. They didn't, introduce the Trinity until Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I'm just like, wait, what? Like, that okay?
That doesn't make any sense. Other than that, like, I would say probably Black Panther and Aquaman. Like, I'm not really interested in Pacific Rim. I'm not interested in Jurassic World.
Dude, I kind of want Pacific Rim to be good because what's his name that's directing the film? He was the showrunner for Daredevil season 1.
Oh, Drew Goddard.
No.
Steven S.
Steven, S. the Knight. Yeah. I hope it's good for his sake. Like, he was a good showrunner for season 1, but for me, it's like the trailers aren't doing it for me.
I mean, I wasn't even a fan of the first Pacific Rim that much. It was just a kind of like really brainless. It was basically just Independence Day, but with robots and monsters.
Oh my gosh!
But
Independence Day, that latest one was awful.
Yeah. I'll just say Black Panther. Black Panther is my most anticipated. Other than that, nothing's really interesting.
What about Ready Player One?
Oh shit! Yes. I completely forgot about that.
I forgot about that. Yes, Ready Player One is probably up there. Black Panther and Ready Player One are my most anticipated.
Yeah, my top 3 are like in no order is like Black Panther, Ready Player One, and Avengers. Like how
about the 4th Purge movie, guys?
Oh my gosh!
They're making a 4th one.
Why?
I don't know. That 3rd one was so bad. But
did you actually watch it?
I saw. Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
You poor soul.
I liked the 2nd one. I liked Purge Anarchy, but like, yeah.
What's another great franchise coming back?
Wreck-It Ralph 2. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that was supposed to come out next year.
It comes out in November of next year.
Oh, Incredibles 2 is supposed to come out. I completely forgot.
Incredibles 2. We're forgetting about all of these. Yeah.
I completely forgot. Now it's starting to get a bit better. Before I thought it was going to be a complete, besides comic book movies, a complete shit year.
Creed 2.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic Beasts 2, which I'm looking forward to because I like the first Fantastic Beasts movie.
I haven't seen the first one yet.
I need to actually sit down and watch the first one because, like, I remember I saw it once and like it didn't really intrigue me at first. So I need to like get another viewing just to see if I can appreciate it. But I mean, I might give the second one a shot after I rewatch the first one, but I don't know how that's going to turn out.
I liked it. It was a really fun movie. I liked it. Mission Impossible 6.
Oh yeah, Henry Cavill's mustache, man. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's see what this big deal about this mustache is supposed to be. For the pop.
Soldado, which is the sequel to Sicario.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Sicario. Like, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I'm interested in the sequel.
Who is ready for some 50 Shades? Something?
Oh my god.
50 Shades or whatever. I don't know which shade we're at. Because
I think it's called 50 Shades Darkest or whatever.
No, it's called 50 Shades Freed.
Oh my god. I don't know how that film is going, man. Those women love those awful movies.
I can't believe they made a trilogy out of it.
Well, it's a trilogy of books, so they all made money.
They all made that money, even though they're awful films. Which
God damn it.
I feel bad for the men that have to go through that.
Yeah. So moving on.
Okay, so we've named all of it. We're going into the Game Awards, and I guess we'll first go off of what they've showed, and then go on what our kind of gripes were in general, and also like the gripes for the awards and all that. So, biggest and greatest event time, like that dude from A Way Out. Good word.
Oh, that was
Fuck
so
the
great.
Oscars.
I
I was
love
like,
that.
what?
The highlight.
He's like, yeah, you made some pictures, right? Yeah, I made like six pictures and stuff like that. I didn't even know he made movies, and I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yo, fuck the Oscars, this is my game, not the EA bullshit. I was like, oh boy, this man.
Wow.
I was like, EA must be sweating some bullets right now.
That man saved the Game Awards.
Yeah, that was a very interesting time. I think I liked the orchestra more for this year than last year. I think the guitar should have went because I think it kind of
really weird.
ruined it a bit.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go into the announcements that I thought were pivotal and that I thought were interesting. And we got the Bayonetta announcements, right? If you're a Nintendo Switch owner, you need to buy Bayonetta 1 and 2. The collection's coming out February in order so you can play, Bayonetta 3, which comes out, I think, sometime next year or the year after. We didn't get any trailer of it, so I'm going to say in 2019 Bayonetta 3 comes out. But in the meantime, buy Bayonetta collection because I've seen some gameplay, but I heard it's an overall good franchise and go support it. And I can't wait to get my hands on it for the Nintendo Switch that I have right here. Quickly, say for game announcements, Death Stranding.
That trailer was crazy.
Crazy and trippy. And guess what? I loved it. Every second of it, I loved it. And I was like, I can't wait. I can't wait for this game. And
it looks great because it's on the Horizon Zero Dawn engine.
Yeah, Decima engine, which it's
Me, I was just like, the whole trailer, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then by the time it ended, I was like, man, I want to see more of it.
So, it's been confirmed. No, it's not been confirmed. But if you see all the trailers, you can kind of see some similarities to it. Like the guy, right? You see the guy kind of like floating and, stepping on the car. And he does this hand movement. It's the same hand movement we saw in the last Game Awards trailer with Mads Mikkelsen's character doing the same like pointing motion, which kind of confirms that they're both the same character, which is very interesting to say the least. That's kind of like the whole thing I got out because I'm kind of still like analyzing all the trailers together and kind of seeing what we get together, and seeing the similarities and differences. But no, that trailer was great. I can't wait to see more. It's one of my most like anticipated games in the future because this game's supposed to be coming out in 2019. What else did we see that I found interesting besides Bayonetta and also Death Stranding? I'm trying to think of another thing.
Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur, yeah. I thought the gameplay for the fighting game looked great for me.
Blaze Blue?
Oh my god. Blaze Blue. Yeah, Persona characters getting in that joint.
Persona and I think Ruby was in there too.
Yeah, Ruby was in there, which was great. Then you got the Campo team doing Egyptian game. They're the same people that made Firewatch, which is interesting.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming out till 2019, though. Shadows Die Twice, a From Software game. We got a really sneak peek, like 2 to 3 second teaser trailer. People think it's, Bloodborne 2. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a brand new IP, something having to do with the Mayans and stuff like that. So I think people need to not think it's Bloodborne 2. Other than that, you got some indie games showing up, but overall, I think we'll go around saying, what did you think about the announcement? So, Inspector, what do you think about the game announcements, and what were your favorite parts of those game announcements?
I would say none of the announcements really grabbed me. None of them are really interesting to me. The only one I really liked was Death Stranding. I'm not the biggest fan of Soul Calibur, but I was surprised that they announced a Soul Calibur. I would be more excited for Bayonetta if it wasn't just for Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
The Campo game, whatever that is, that looked interesting, but I'm not really into those type of games. Yeah, I would say overall it was pretty just meh in terms of game announcements, and I'm happy that there wasn't any DC announcements. Slight jab right there. Yeah, overall meh. Death Stranding was the highlight. Other than that, I like seeing more of a way out, but we basically.
We've seen it since last
E3. What we've seen. Yeah, it's basically the same thing we saw at E3. So
yeah, it's basically you play the game in correlation to one another, which is very interesting. Like that person will get the cutscene and you can walk around. It's very interesting. They're very much inspired by Naughty Dog, which I've heard several times from that dude. Marvel DC fan, what were your favorite announcements for game announcements?
I mean, the only trailer that I was like, wow, this would look really awesome was of course Death Stranding, and of course, like I said earlier, the whole trailer was just like, what the hell is going on? And then by the end, you're like, I want to see more of it now. Give me more.
Yep.
And then in terms of actual new announcements, Bayonetta 3. It sucks that Platinum isn't putting it on other consoles like PS4 and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I do want to say quickly, but sorry for cutting you off. The reason why it's going to be on the Switch is because Bayonetta 2 was financed by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Without Nintendo, there wouldn't have never been another Bayonetta 2.
No.
So they're kind of thankful for Nintendo doing that. So that's why it's on the Switch. Because none of the other publishers like Sony and Microsoft were, going to finance the game.
No. Yeah, because, I mean, Bayonetta, that was cool. There was nothing for Bayonetta 3, but it was nice seeing that all three of them were coming to Nintendo Switch. So, Soul Calibur 6, was it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6, that was cool. I mean, I'm not the biggest Soul Calibur fan, but I used to play a lot of Soul Calibur 2 back in the day. So, I mean, and I think I'd like to get back into playing Soul Calibur, so I'm kind of excited for that. And then Blaze Blue looked cool, so.
Yeah, Blaze Blue is one of the top fighting games.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it got some love on the Game Awards show.
Yes. So I was interested in that too. But besides that, that's really it for trailers. I mean, yeah, there was that Egyptian game by the Firewatch team, but it wasn't it wasn't really catching my attention that much like the other announcements were. But yeah, that's just about it.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we're gonna go into I think the most cringiest thing, which I know the Zelda. Oh my gosh, I like Zelda, right? But that show was cringy. I was like, come on, who approved this?
Yeah, it's
I would have told them how it was. I'd be like, this is cringy. Please do not show this.
Here's the thing, it was cringy because it wasn't Miyamoto.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Miyamoto, I think people would have been more, I guess, forgiving, I guess. But since it wasn't Miyamoto, it just looked weird. That guy had, a really weird stance when he was pulling out the sword, he was, squatting.
Yeah, the Master Sword. I was like, what?
Oh, I'm trying to think of that guy's name.
I think he's a producer on Zelda.
Yeah. He's like Miyamoto's partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really bad, and that DLC didn't look good.
No.
And also, it's been confirmed that you have to beat the DLC in order to get the motorcycle. And also, the motorcycle shouldn't even be in the game in general. That kind of defeats the purpose of like horse riding in a Zelda game.
That's like when you see Link in like Mario Kart, and you're like, why is he there?
Yeah.
In a go-kart.
And it's just like we were kind of messing around after that announcement. I said, "Oh, it looks like a Power Rangers motorcycle."
Because it was a Power Rangers motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, and the heroes reminded us of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Marvel confirmed. And Zelda.
Did Disney buy Nintendo? Like, did that just kind of go on everybody's radar?
Mm-hmm. I think that was. Oh, I know what Bethesda's trying to do, and kind of stick it to EA about single player games with them promoting their games.
Really bad.
But I thought the trailer was bad though. I know what they were trying to do though.
So stupid.
They're like, "Oh, single player games are great." It's like, yeah, but the way you're doing it's so cringy. Like,
and of all the companies, like Bethesda, like really, you're the company that's forcing people to buy mods for your games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
interesting.
Yeah. And plus, I think single player games have been getting on the rise.
Yeah, I think so too.
Couple years, like with Uncharted and with Horizon and with
Last
of Us and like all these. But I get what they mean because like all the big games that saw all the units, like all the big multi-platform games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and like. Well, Assassin's Creed tried multiplayer, but it didn't really work for them.
No.
Wait, what game was that for?
I think it was Brotherhood, was it?
It was Brotherhood and Revelations.
Oh yeah.
And that multiplayer sucks so bad, but it was really
That's
bad.
That's why they removed it. I'm pretty sure they removed it after 3, or maybe was it 4?
Yeah. I think they got rid of. They tried it for Brotherhood and Revelations, and they scrapped it.
No, I'm pretty sure it was also 3, man. Because I remember like playing it on 3, like because there was a code for the passport or whatever you call. Remember, like for the Ubisoft games, they had to give you like a multiplayer passport because if you buy the used game, you would have to also buy, a key.
See, 3 was so forgettable that I don't even remember. But like 3 was. This is another topic in terms of Assassin's Creed, so I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. Just
saying that 3 and 1 are the weakest Assassin's Creed games, but.
So I think those were the cringiest. I guess we'll now talk about the awards that kind of disappointed us.
Wait, can we talk about the Andrew House? Like,
oh yeah, we can talk about Andrew House's tribute, which was I thought very heartfelt.
That was great.
Everything, kind of the evolution of him as a person. And no, I'm not talking about Pokemon. Just him evolving as an individual, and kind of seeing that process and seeing how he was with PlayStation through the beginning, like legit the beginning of creation of PlayStation, until now. And I really like that, and it was such a good video, and everyone was very responsive.
His speech was great.
Mm-hmm. The speech was,
and there was people yelling from the crowd. There's like, "Thank you, Andrew."
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That was great.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was amazing, and I really liked it. I do have to commend Jeff Keighley for getting the type of people to give out awards. I was very surprised about
Army Hammer. Do I have to pay a microtransaction for this?
Zachary Levi. That man.
Zachary Levi. I don't know why I said. Yeah, Zachary Levi.
Shazam.
It's Shazam.
Yeah, I was surprised he made that microtransaction joke. I was like, oh, he swiped it with his credit card, which is cool. And Oh, I really liked how we had. Oh shoot, I'm gonna like kick myself in the face if I don't remember his name. Andy Serkis, like he was there, giving out the award for motion capture, which I thought was good.
Yeah,
I
best
thought,
performance. Yeah,
and I thought that was like a perfect person to get that because he's a veteran in that like aspect. Like he does motion capture all the time, and seeing that and having him be there it speaks volumes for the gaming industry.
yeah,
And I really enjoyed that tidbit because Andy Serkis is like I still get pissed off that this man doesn't get awards for his performances,
Mm.
which irritates me. But that's another subject in of itself. I guess we'll talk though about the Game Awards in general now. In terms of the awards, I agreed with some slash most, but the ones I totally disagreed with were for Game of the Year, Best Ongoing Game. Overwatch is a game that I still think is bare bones to this day. They didn't update a lot of it. We only have like maybe 3 or 4 maps total now and a couple characters. I think Rainbow Six Siege is like they have a bunch of maps and they keep updating that game so much.
They totally like reinvented the game.
Exactly. And they had to, and now they get a lot of Twitch streamers, and also you see the dedication put into that game for ongoing, which I just think like Rainbow Six Siege got robbed.
Yeah.
And Game of the Year. All right, I already said this. Well, I talked about it with them on stream, and I was like, wow, Zelda. The game has good gameplay mechanics. Side quests, not so much. Story, not so much. Characters, not so much. But the open world aspect and also the combat is good. I did not think it was justified for Game of the Year. When you have that amount of problems that I'm talking about, your game is still good, but not as good as the other competition. Same thing with Mario. Like Mario doesn't rely on side quests though, so that to me gives it a bit more of an edge to Mario. But still, you got games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Persona 5, which have good gameplay mechanics as well as a good story with good characters and character development.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, it should have been those games, but it wasn't, which disappoints me as a person that kind of critiques stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are your guys' thoughts, I guess, on those 2 awards? You couldn't speak about any other award, but I think those are like the 2 that kind of stand out. Inspector.
I agree with you with Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six should have won. As I said, like they totally like when it came out, it was kind of like very bare bones, but they like totally reinvented the game and they keep like incrementally adding a lot of stuff, and like their player base is, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times it as it was when the game released. That just shows you how good of an ongoing game it is. Like when you look at Overwatch, like yeah, it's good in like the esports scene, but I think if you see the amount of players that are playing Overwatch, I think it's going down instead of going up. Let's see. I was surprised with the best performance when Hellblade won for best performance. I expected I expected one of the Uncharted ladies to win. Like I wasn't against Hellblade. I just found it was interesting. It wasn't expected. And Hellblade also won games for Impact, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Yeah, game of the year. I totally agree. I don't think Zelda was the right choice, and I think when you looked at Twitter, that was probably the most divisive award. Like half the people agreed, half the people didn't. I was one of the ones. We were all the ones that like disagreed. It's like, yeah, either Persona or Horizon should have won. I guess shows our. I don't know if that shows bias for us, but like those are just. I think those are better games. They have more content,
Yeah.
and
Well, I'll say this as well, and have you go on afterwards what I say. I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch. I personally think that game is better than both Mario and Zelda. That's what I think personally. I haven't finished the game yet, but that's what I'm feeling right now. And that to me
yeah,
just has good
and I
combat
get if
with
they didn't want to put
story.
like what was Hellblade published by Sony, or was it published and developed by Ninja Theory? Was it
It
like
was published and developed by Ninja Theory.
yeah, I think I think Hellblade could have replaced Zelda as a Game of the Year nominee. Um, I think there's like a handful of games I could put in that could replace like PUBG or Zelda. Like, yeah, like I didn't agree that that's one of the things that like brought the show down. I like it's kind of when like I kind of compare it to when Skyrim won over Arkham City. I just feel that just because Skyrim was Elder Scrolls, that they voted Skyrim more than Batman, even though I think Batman was the favorite game going into the awards. Just like I think Horizon, I think Horizon was probably the favorite going into the awards. I think Persona was the dark horse, but I think Horizon and I think Horizon was the favorite going in, and um, other than that, like best narrative, that one was a surprise. What Remains of Edith?
Yeah, that's an indie game. I haven't played it, so
That's an indie game. I've heard good things about it. Um, I mean, I'm not really big into indie games. Um, as I said, like Hellblade won for best performance, and let's see what else. Best action game, I think Wolfenstein won,
yeah.
right? I don't know if I agree with that, but um, I forgot. I think Uncharted was in best action game, wasn't it?
Yeah, best action adventure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
I don't
I
know.
think it was like let me check real quick because I think it was in a separate category.
Yeah. I think best action was like Assassin's Creed Origins and Wolfenstein and Horizon. I think was in best action. Yeah. Um, I don't.
No, so best action game was no, Uncharted wasn't in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Uncharted was like and best action slash adventure game, which Zelda won.
Yeah. And and it's weird how they. I get why they did it, but like, it's so weird how they announce like so many awards. Like, just Jeff Keighley mentioning them. It's like, oh yeah, this one for best blah blah blah.
Yeah, which I
Like,
think kind of is a bit disrespectful in a way. Like I don't like saying that, but you kind of got to give those people
yeah, like to
their time,
me,
like
like
their spotlight. And if you don't want to do it at the main show, you should do it all at the pre-show.
yeah, you should do it at the pre-show. Like, let's see what else. Um, like best RPG, like Persona won for best RPG, right?
Yeah, but they didn't go on stage.
Yeah, yeah, like that. I think that's a big award enough to be put on stage. So
Exactly, and then that kind of gets. more publicity to
Like,
those people.
I feel like when it comes to, I think the pre-show awards should be like all the fan voted awards, like best anticipated game, most anticipated game, like trending gamer, best esports player, like all those should be on the pre-show. And I get if you want like best sports game isn't really a big category, so I understand that, and like I understand like some of the choices, but like I think best RPG should have been like a big presentation. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, those are my opinions on the awards.
All right. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
Honestly, like there was only really two that had me just kind of like dumbfounded, and that was with like the whole, I think, Overwatch, like the best ongoing game, and then Game of the Year, where like with Overwatch, I was just kind of like, I was really disappointed because yeah, I think Rainbow Six Siege probably should have won that. Yeah, like with Overwatch, it's kind of more of it's been declining over time. There isn't really much to it. Like in Rainbow Six, they have like more content than they've ever had before. And with Game of the Year, like, I mean, Zelda, I would say it's a good game, but I don't think it was really Game of the Year worthy material. So, and I mean, there was other awards where I was just kind of like, oh, really? Or like, yeah, okay, that's there, I guess. But like, those were like the two that really just kind of stuck out. Kind of just popped out and made me really confused on why they picked those. So, yeah.
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 Yeah. I think that's it for the talks for the Game Awards. I do want to quickly kind of say there was a interesting tidbit of news. Nintendo has sold 10 million Switches in under 9 months, which is it's really close to beating the lifetime sales of the Wii U, which is very good. Hey man, I know I originally said in a couple of my videos, and I ate the crow, that Switch is becoming a success, and I'm glad for it. And I'm I'm an owner of the Switch. I'm seeing the games coming out, and I'm happy as a gamer that these games are coming out, and I'm glad for Nintendo's newfound success. I really do think that I think it's because it's a handheld, and I kind of wish they, you know, promote it as such, which will gain more attention. And it's a very great handheld. Like it's better than my Vita, and that you can play on your TV. And I'm super happy that Nintendo's getting the success and it's going to get more games. And you see it with the Bayonetta announcements and all that, and I'm very happy for that. And I'm happy that it's not another Wii U failure. And because Wii U only sold like 13 million or 14, and
Yeah.
it's total lifetime sales.
It's a total bust for Nintendo.
Yeah. In like what, 5 or 6 years total,
Yeah, it's really bad.
So bad. And now they're about to beat it in less than a year. So
that's good. I'm happy for Nintendo. Good competition.
It is.
Yeah, I'm happy.
And it's probably going to be catching up to the Xbox soon.
That's kind of sad.
Yep. Oh, and also, I completely forgot. PlayStation has sold 70 million units, which is very good. They're the leaders of the market as well. So, yeah, it's really good. And Xbox numbers, yeah, we don't know. We don't know those numbers yet.
Oh, we don't know them?
No, the last numbers they gave was like 2 or 3 years ago for 15 million units.
Wow. That tells you how confident Microsoft is.
No, dude, they tell you how much buttons you click and also the amount of hours you spend on video games.
Hey, Microsoft, maybe you should get more exclusives.
No, that's true. Nintendo's beating you guys.
That's kind of sad.
It's getting there now. Nintendo beats you with a handheld. Yeah.
Dude, if Talati was here, we would be reading him the riot act.
Oh yeah. Hey buddy. The Switch is more successful. But Marvel DC fan, what do you think about both the PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch news about their sales?
I mean, it's really good for both companies. I'm happy for Nintendo and Sony, how well they're doing with their consoles. I wouldn't be surprised if, Switch beats out Wii U, and, I mean, fucking anything will beat out Wii U. And honestly, if I could say something, I mean, I own a Wii U myself, and, like, I don't think the console's, like, it's not terrible. It had some really good games on it, but, yeah, like, it's really happy for Nintendo, like, the success of the Switch and, like, all the games that they've had on it. It's just really good.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about Xbox not saying anything?
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's just really sad.
But they want to make those more controllers. They like making controllers more.
They want to showcase them button presses.
Oh yeah.
Microsoft, maybe if you want to sell more, maybe you should stop canceling your exclusives.
That's
cough,
true.
cough, Scalebound, cough, cough.
Okay, yeah. Cough, cough, Fabled Legends, cough, cough. Cough, cough, closing down studios. And more. But that's it for those news. And the last event is PSX. So quickly want to say PSX, right? People were getting their hopes up. People were like, this is going to be the biggest conference. And they were like, this isn't even a conference. So Sony was like, stop getting hyped up for it. It's going to just be an open dialogue type of conference. Or it's like a keynote, whatever it's called. It's not a real conference like the originals. So I kind of had low expectations. Now, we did get a couple of information of some tidbits here and there of some video games that we're interested in. First off, God of War is supposed to be in the final phases, like the playtime, play testing phase, which they're just testing the bugs, and that's about it. So we're getting close. No release date, which I'm super surprised about. Which now questions about this leak of the March 22nd, release date.
I think they're doing this because they don't want to get people's hopes up.
Yeah, they may delay it.
Remember they did that. They did that with Uncharted 4, and they kept delaying it.
So yeah, it makes sense. I don't think they will, but I think they're just waiting just to be sure. Now, what Corey Balrog said, he's the director for the God of War game. He was just like, okay, so we were playing the game and we were surprised on how long the game is. It's supposed to be 25 to 35 hours to complete.
Hey, what? God of War?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
I mean, God of War is usually half. God of War is usually half that time.
I think the longest in the entry was God of War 2, I believe.
And what is that, like 12 hours, 14 hours?
I think it was around 14 or maybe 16.
I know God of War 3, like God of War 3
was the shortest.
God of War, and that was like 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that.
Yeah, and I think Ascension was also short, like really short.
Yeah.
And what do we think about this news about it being 25 to 35 hours? I heard like when he was making this game, he was like adding more things to it and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. Now we're at that 25 to 35 hour range for the game to be done. So, Inspector.
I'm surprised. I'm really excited. I guess it's mainly because like it's a different story, and also like they changed the gameplay mechanics, so it's so I'm interested, and hopefully it's not too long.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we get a release date soon.
Yeah. Okay, what about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about the God of War news?
I mean, like, that many hours, I mean, it's interesting, but, like, in the back of my head, if I ever have to Let's Play it in the near future, I'm just thinking, God, is that going to be just a long one to sit through?
Yeah, you should try to do a Let's Play on The Witcher 3. See how many parts you would get off that.
150 hours.
Fuck
100.
Fuck that. I'll just live stream the game.
Live stream that shit. Like, dude, you would have like part 100 and something.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not even finish it. Like, that's not even including the expansions.
Cancelled. No.
All right. So I guess we're gonna go into also Detroit Become Human. They did a demo for the game, and it was pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. I wish we had some more shouting for Sean and Jason. Made my day great. But it was cool. They kind of borrowed some inspiration from the Arkham Origins, but fine-tuned it more to make it make more sense than like the Arkham Origins aspect for the investigation.
Going back to the Game Awards.
Oh yeah,
I think we were all surprised that they showed Dreams.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was okay, we'll get into that now. I was super surprised on how much how much they like when I first originally saw Dreams, I thought, wow, this game isn't for me. This game kind of looks trash. But seeing that trailer now makes me it reminds me more of Little Big Planet now. And how they made creative levels where you can do the storyline as well and also like make your thing, and it just looks a lot more better. It kind of seems like they kind of have a grip on what they want this game to be, which I'm glad about. I just want to see some more, and then to kind of like solidify if I want to get it or not. But yeah, what do you think, Inspector?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's weird how, like, I think the last time we saw Dreams was last year at E3, I think.
Or maybe it was 2 E3s ago.
Or maybe 2 E3s ago. And yeah, they like, it looks like they like totally, I think from the reaction that they got, because the reaction was, I think, really lukewarm to negative. I think they like scaled back and like looked at it and it's like, okay, let's change this up, make it look more like Little Big Planet, because that's kind of what our like style is. Yeah, it looked interesting. I mean, it's still like Little Big Planet and those type of games are not really my type of games. Like, I never really got into Little Big Planet, but it looked interesting.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
Like trailer, like visually, it looked cool. Like it looked really nice, but I'm not sure if I'm too convinced. Like, yeah, it had that kind of Little Big Planet feeling, and I'm not really that much into Little Big Planet. I played some of the games before, but I never really got into it. So I think I'm gonna probably wait until maybe like close to release when like reviews come out to see if that kind of changes my mind. But right now I'm just kind of split down the middle about it.
All right. So I guess returning to the topic, Detroit. So
yep.
It was a really good demo. They inspired, from Batman Arkham Origins with like the rewinding and stuff like that. But they did it, I think, better. It makes more sense because you have androids, which are part machine and all that, being able to process that through like their CPU chip and all that. So it makes sense and it looks really cool. And you're able to move the camera and be able to find things. And you can change outcomes. Like, dude, it was funny how I really wish we got more demos on stage where people were like, pick up the gun. And then they're like, are you sure? Yes, we want the gun to be picked up.
Oh, you mean the crappy acting that's usually in these trailers?
Oh, shoot.
Jason!
Like, no, like, what I'm talking about is like the Rainbow Six trailers where they have the developers acting like they're actual players.
Yeah, no, like all of that was like live stage and stuff like that. So no, they were like asking the crowd. It's like, what do you want to do? And everyone's like, pick up the gun. And then everyone's like, do you want to do a peaceful resolution? Do you want to shoot the head? And everyone's
Shoot
like,
him.
execute him. I was like, gosh,
Jesus.
dang it, guys.
You guys are bloodthirsty.
Chuck him,
Guys are
chuck him
bloodthirsty.
down.
And then like he like chose the button to execute and just shot that dude in the head. I was like, good word. That was too much.
Savage.
I was like, you guys are messed up in the head, man. But
Play
no,
way too much Call of Duty.
exactly. But Detroit Become Human. I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy the game. I'm already pre-ordering the game because I liked Heavy Rain. Beyond Two Souls was a step back, but I think David Cage learned from his mistakes with Beyond Two Souls, which got mixed reviews. And yeah, same thing with Colin Moriarty was saying about this. Like they're on the track for this game to be good, just like Heavy Rain was, because Beyond Two Souls was no bueno. Was no good at all, except for I liked William Dafoe in the game.
Yeah,
I'll give them
I think the only good things about that game was Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe.
I mean,
But
that's what
it.
they marketed the game as. It's just Ellen
Right.
Page and Willem Dafoe. They didn't really market the game as the game.
No.
It's just the star power.
Yep. But other than that, what do we think? I know you didn't see the live stream, Inspector, but what do you think about the game overall, though?
Again, like Little Big Planet, these games are not really my type. I've never played a Quantic Dream game. I've never played Heavy Rain. I know they're more like interactive movies than games because it's a lot of quick time events and.
But your choices matter, man.
Yeah, unlike Telltale games, your choices matter.
Your choices matter. No, they don't.
Clementine will remember that. I'm sure she will.
Yeah. But unlike what I like about Quantic Dream games is if a character dies, they dead.
Oh, they're dead.
They're staying dead.
You did, fool.
Yeah. And that's an interesting concept. The game looks in terms of visually, it looks really good. It looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't see the demo, but what I've seen, it looks interesting.
Mm-hmm. There's supposed to be 3 main characters. We've seen all 3 of them already.
I mean, Quantic Dream does that. They usually have 3 or 4 main characters.
Yeah, except for Beyond Two Souls. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all we have to say about that. Yeah, we've seen them in the trailers. You got Carl. You got Bush. His name is his name. No, his name's not Sean. I always think it is for some reason. The android peaceful resolution dude, the hostage dude, and then you have also the revolutionary android guy, which he's an actor. I don't know what he acts in though. I think it has something to do with an ABC show. But yeah, what about you, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, if I can go off of what I liked about the trailer, I mean, Quantic Dreams games, they've been really stepping it up, and they've been really looking good and that kind of thing. I think since Beyond, have they really been pushing it and making it look really good. And I liked the kind of rewind mechanic. It's weird that they pulled it from Arkham Origins of all games, but I think they kind of fine-tuned it a little bit better and made it more kind of... Because when I saw it, it had more of a freedom of movement to it. You can actually move around.
Is it more like Arkham Origins, or is it more like Prince of Persia?
No, it's straight up Arkham Origins.
Okay.
When you're rewinding it, you can turn the camera to see, the different angles and that kind of stuff. And it's not like Origins where it's kind of just fixed in the rewind.
It's basically like point and click.
Yeah.
Arkham Origins.
Yeah. You click, rewind, and it's just kind of fixed to that. But yeah, that was cool. But honestly, I'm kind of on the opposite side where I'm not really a fan of David Cage, of his writing. So, I don't think I'm really gonna pick this game up, to be honest.
Damn.
But yeah.
Yeah, Marvel DC fan. I liked his writing, Heavy Rain. Not so much in Beyond Two Souls, though. I think that game for Beyond Two Souls was just a mess in general.
God, Beyond is the worst.
All right, so going off that, we just got some Hideo Kojima. They showed Death Stranding again, which, all right, I watch it again. Like I watched it like seven other times just to understand. But
yeah, like to me, it wasn't really satisfying the second time. Like, oh, it was just the same trailer again. Like, cool. Like, that's it.
I mean, like, I still enjoyed it watching it. Like I watched it 8 times before that.
It's a good trailer, but like,
I don't know, you don't get that same impact, which it happens with all trailers as well. Like you won't get that same like excitement from watching it the first time. Just like when you watch a really good show the first time, like you will not get that level of excitement back when rewatching it. It'll still be a good show. It's just not going to be as good as the first time, so to speak. We did get Andrew House talking about, when he first met Hideo Kojima and how Hideo Kojima's like code was stolen and he had to tell Hideo Kojima that, which then they became friends and all that, and how he pitched his game to Andrew House and how everybody wanted Hideo Kojima, but he went up to Andrew House. They technically you're supposed to have a boardroom meeting and he pitched the game and all that. But he just told him about the game during lunch, and Andrew House was like, "Yeah, we'll do it, and we'll give you a blank check, whatnot." And it happened, and I really like that. I really like how Andrew House is so casual and doesn't have to tell Hideo Kojima, "Oh, we're gonna have to do a boardroom meeting and decide whether or not we're gonna fund this game or, have you a part of the like PlayStation and whatnot." But how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that interaction? What would come to be Death Stranding and PlayStation supporting Hideo Kojima's vision? We'll start off with Inspector.
I think it's good. I think if you saw what happened with Konami with Metal Gear Solid 5 and all that, and how
Survive.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
And then Survive.
Phantom Pain, yeah.
No, you've seen Survive, right?
I know of it.
It's supposed to be a beta soon.
God damn it!
I think it's good. Andrew House just seems like a really chill guy, and I think it's good that like he trusts Kojima and that they didn't have to like. They just seem like friends.
Yeah,
I think that's just a good work environment over at Sony and Kojima, that they just get together well. Get along together well.
Yep. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think?
I mean, like, it was nice. Yeah, like, it was nice kind of hearing that story, and it felt like it wasn't like kind of business partners or anything. Like, it felt like a real kind of friendship, like a friend like conversation. And if I can go on a tangent for something just for a second, there were numerous amount of times during the Game Awards specifically where, and this goes for Zelda and Death Stranding, where Kojima or somebody else would have a translator, like, just to kind of do that. And there were numerous tweets that we saw. I'm not going to give out any names specifically, where they were kind of teasing the fact that, like, oh my god, do they really need all these guys doing this? And like that just wasn't cool, man. That was just disrespectful to me personally, and that's just really offensive. But like the whole, like, with Kojima, and like it's interesting to see like how Sony was kind of how they were kind of like they were on board with this idea for Death Stranding. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I want to quickly say something about that because okay, give me a sec. Taladia will be coming in shortly. So I want to quickly say something about that, right? I wanted to say something to that individual. So I went on Twitter, said my piece. Somebody else got involved, which fine with me. And I think in general that I love that person's point of argument was that was supposed to be a compliment. That wasn't a compliment at all. I don't understand how that would be used as an argument. Oh, it just means that they're a great developer. No, that person was teasing the fact that they need translators. So you kind of are just defending the individual without actually knowing his, knowing the context, or you're just defending just for defending.
Defending, yeah.
Which you should just admit that you're just wrong in that situation. Which I'll just say that in general. But okay, so I guess we'll also now go into the Medieval announcement, right? So it's been announced that Medieval is getting a remake, kind of like the Crash Bandicoot remaster, right? I don't consider Crash Bandicoot a remaster, but a remake.
Yeah.
And they're going to redo all that, and it's going to be pretty cool. And Medieval is a game I've played on the PS1. And I can't wait to play the PS4 version of the game. We don't know when it's coming out. I think no, actually, did they say 2019 or 2018?
I don't think they said anything.
Okay, what's up, Taladia?
Nothing much, man. Finished my movie.
Nice. But we got that announcement from Medieval. So what do you think, Marvel DC fan? Them PlayStation resurrecting their old IPs. And do you think that's great for the hardcore PlayStation fans and all of that?
To me, that was, for me personally, that was probably the best thing to come out of PlayStation experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. And I think, and I've been familiar with Medieval. I never played any of the games. I played, he was in the main character for that. He was in, PlayStation All-Stars and that kind of thing. And I played as him there, and I think it's really neat that Sony is going out of their way to bring these franchises back, like Crash Bandicoot or Medieval
retro games, basically.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do a Spyro trilogy or an announcement for that. You think that would be the second thing to gravitate towards, but I think it's good for the retro players and also for newcomers like myself who haven't really played these classic games. So it's really neat how they're doing this.
Yeah. What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
I mean, I didn't watch PSX, and I'm not really familiar with Medieval.
But what do you think, as for PlayStation fans, them resurrecting old IP?
Yeah, I think it's good for Sony that they're remaking all these franchises and giving, introducing more new people to these franchises and also giving fans what they want.
And a possibility of making sequels to those games if the sales are good and stuff like that. If there's an interest in it, which is also good in general. So I can't wait for that. Talari, what do you think?
I think it's good. Now, we've had the Crash Bandicoot series on the PlayStation 4. Now we've got this. I can possibly see that there'll be sequels for this on PlayStation 4 for sure. If it does well though, in sales terms. And I could possibly see, Spyro or Tomb Raider, if Microsoft lets her go, put the retro games on the PS1. PlayStation 1 versions on the PS4, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool in terms for IPs and stuff, and it would make sense, really.
Mm-hmm.
But we just hope that Medieval really sells, though. But I think it was really cool that they did that little thing towards the end of PSX opening ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we also got some news from the panel for Ghost of Tsushima. They are mocapping horses, no lie. I'm not kidding about
hold on.
this.
What? They're mocapping horses.
Yes.
Wow.
Motion capture for horses are legit. Like they've announced it, they showed pictures of it. Like it's a legit thing.
Is it on Twitter by any chance? I want to look at this.
I think so. I think
That's-
they're.
That's hilarious.
Hey man, they want realistic horses. I don't blame them. They just put that stuff on them.
I'm just imagining the horses and like the leotards and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But how do we feel about motion capture horses for Ghost of Tsushima? And we'll start off with and also about Sony giving them the freedom to make a brand new IP, just like Horizon Zero Dawn, and them making a rated M game. You know, going from T to M, just like how Uncharted went from T to M for The Last of Us. And that kind of like evolution in a way. But we'll start off with Inspector and both those topics for Ghost of Tsushima.
I think it's great that Sony is letting their first party developers just do what they want, like stretch their legs, give them a new IP. You saw that it did very well with Last of Us. It did very well for Horizon, and Sucker Punch is a great studio. Infamous and
Sly
Jack
Cooper.
Sly Cooper. Jack and Daxter's Naughty Dog. I think it's going to be great. That trailer really got me hyped. It looks really interesting. And what was the other part of the question?
Motion capture horses.
Oh yeah, that's a great. I guess that's great. Attention to detail. I guess. I don't know if they want to make anthropomorphic horses, like talking horses, but.
Hey man, they just want realistic horse movements.
Detailed. That's the best way to put it. Detailed horses.
Yep. Marvel DC fan. What about you? What do you think about this?
I mean, it's cool that Sony lets their first party developers and stuff have that kind of free reign, but at the same time, it's interesting and like weird at the same time for that kind of thing. I know they want ultra realistic horses, but like they've made horses, move and like look good in like games before that. So do you really need that like extra kind of effort in there? I know like I mean it's hard to animate like an animal more than it is to animate a human being, but like come on, you just take some random horse off the ranch and just be like, hey, we need this for like 3 weeks, okay, we'll bring it back.
Exactly. What about you, Taladia?
Firstly, I think the game will do incredibly well in detailed. I think the mocap business, what can I say? It's mocap, and I can't believe it's happened on a horse. That's the first thing. That flabbergasted me about that. But I think in terms of the game and everything, I think he'll do well. Really speaking, I was just astonished that you just said it was mocapped. But when does it release though? Have they released it?
No, they haven't said anything. Everyone's assuming it is a 2019 release date. That this game
if it's a 29 release date, then I think they'll probably get something, big chunk of something at the PSX. I believe. That is something that we got to look out for. PSX, which is also happening on June 12th next year.
Wait. Oh, you mean E3? E3.
Sorry, E3. Yeah, June 12th. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
It's all good. Okay, there was also 2 more panels. There was the Uncharted panel. They just talked mostly about the process of making Uncharted, the auditions for why I say Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake's the character. Nolan North for Nathan Drake. They showed that his audition for it, and they kind of talked about it and stuff like that, which was really cool. They also showed like a poster that somebody drew, and like they're selling it for a limited edition. It was really cool. It had like all the Uncharted 4 characters along with Nadine and also Chloe, and it looked really cool with Sic Parvis Magna and also the ring from Nathan Drake, which was really cool.
Cool.
And also, we had the Last of Us panel, Last of Us 2 panel. It set it up with Troy Baker and I forgot her name.
Laura
she plays
Bailey?
No, she plays Ellie.
Yeah.
Ashley
Oh,
Johnson.
Ashley
Johnson.
Johnson. There you go.
Yeah, she's also in another show, ABC show. I don't know what it is. They sang a song. I don't know which song it was. It might have been Johnny Cash. Who knows? Because I didn't get to listen to it. And they kind of talked about the process of The Last of Us and what they learned from Uncharted 4 going into making The Last of Us Part 2. They also talked about, the motion capture going in and the new technology for like the muscles and stuff like that. And also they did talk, though, about 3 important details, well, 4, something like that. It's set in Seattle. Most of the game's set in Seattle. Also, the writer from Westworld is working on this game. We knew this, but she's also making a character that is pregnant. And we kind of saw this poster, and also in Uncharted 4, if we look closely, there is a poster of like kind of like The Last of Us with a woman pregnant. So speculation is saying, it's either Ellie's mom who's pregnant or Ellie's pregnant. I don't think Ellie's pregnant. I think we're gonna get flashbacks of Ellie's mom's pregnancy. Like, I think Ellie's mom was like that woman, with the, almost dying and getting choked out with her being almost, hung. Also, they admitted that this game is 50 to 60% complete done. So it's definitely going to be a 2019 release day. And they also confirmed...
2018?
No, 2019. It's coming out 2019.
100%? 2019?
Yeah. Even the composer said 2019.
Okay.
15 to 60%, like, they're not going to finish that in 2018. They still got a lot to go.
No, I mean in terms of gameplay for 2018.
Oh, no, okay, I was getting into that. So they announced that there's going to be a gameplay demo at E3 of next year. So they admitted that, and that is great to hear. So it's going to be a big year for E3 for next year in terms for that. We're going to be getting a demo for Ghost of Tsushima most likely, and a definite for The Last of Us Part 2. But Inspector, what do you think about all the news that we got out of that for The Last of Us Part 2?
I'm not surprised. I didn't expect the game to come out next year. I'm really looking forward to it. I want it to come out early in 2019 because I want to play it.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a May release date or something like that.
May or
2019.
The first Last of Us came out in June, so that's not out of consideration. So like May, June, July, somewhere in there.
So you mean springtime, summertime?
Yeah, summer.
Around there.
Around summertime. Yeah.
And what do you think about the whole the Westworld writer wanting to do a character that was like pregnant? You think that will be most likely Ellie's mom?
Yeah, I would say most likely. Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe it's that mystery character that Laura Bailey is playing.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. That's like Ellie's mom is her. Yeah. Okay. Also, Marvel DC fan, what do you think about this tidbit of news from
Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog. I completely forgot the director's name. I don't know why I forgot.
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann, yes.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch the panel. Not because I didn't want to. It's just that I was kind of busy the rest of that weekend. So,
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, for the mystery woman, like, it could be Ellie's mom. I don't want to say it is, but like it's a possibility. But like, I mean, regardless, I'm still really excited to play this when it comes out in 2019.
You hyped to see that gameplay demo at E3?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. What about you, Taladio? What do you think?
I think personally, I was very happy to see that Last of Us actually come out and confirmed, firstly, that they're going to be at E3 to show the demo of the game. In terms of the mystery woman, I'm thinking it's Ellie's mom as well. I'm saying that right now. It's not 100%. I'm just guessing. So don't take my word for it, guys. It's just a complete guess. But yeah, a 2019 release date with demo coming out next year, and on top of that, everything that's been amped up what Naughty Dog has been saying. I think it looks like it's going to be a very interesting year next year for Naughty Dog. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do want to say I did not like the person hosting the panel. I don't know why they sought her.
Who was it?
I don't know her name. Was
it a girl with glasses?
It's some girl like with like how the girls are getting those haircuts nowadays.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's Doomsday.
I just didn't care for her. Like the whole panel was like not in a way like it wasn't kept on track and stuff, which I blame the host for that. And I kind of wished like asked more direct questions, but that's my opinion on that. Some people agree with me and some people disagreed. I guess I'll talk though about net neutrality again because it's coming up like legit in a day or two for us in America.
It's only affect. Do you mind if I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only affecting Canada and America, and it'll only affect you if you're a streamer or a YouTube content creator.
No, it affects everyone. It affects internet speed, broadband width.
Yeah, but it won't affect us. Like it won't affect.
He's talking about England.
Like England, UK, it won't affect us as much. Like, but for America and Canada, it will affect you a lot more than it will the UK.
Yeah.
So, guys, sign that petition. Whoever they tell you to
call your congressperson. There's a website for it.
It'll be on top of the Twitch page or the YouTube page or something like that.
Or even search it. And it'll pop up and they'll get you the number for your Congress or senator or governor.
Sign it.
To, have them, you call them and say, I'm not going to vote for you unless, you're against, you're for net neutrality. And if you're not, then I'm not going to vote for you for the next election, which you'll do that and get your voice heard because this is going to be bad. This is threatening. It's basically getting like you're paying for your internet right now, but imagine if you're paying for it and then you have to pay extra for like accessing YouTube or accessing Twitch or accessing Steam or gaming on the internet. Like another $5 here, $5 there. Then they slow down like Netflix because they don't like Netflix and they prefer Hulu and all that. That's what would happen.
Personally, guys, trust me on this. Sign it and it'll do you a lot better. And that's coming from a guy who streams and does YouTube.
Because this is happening in a couple of days. Our voices need to be heard, and I really don't want that to be passed because it would affect a lot of us, and it will jack up prices. And this isn't for the consumers. This is for the corporation. These are for the greedy corporations. They want to say, oh, this is going to help create new jobs. No, it's not going to help create new jobs. All they're doing is making more money off of you. That's not creating new jobs.
They're basically fucking you over. That's put it like that. Just basically screw you guys over and saying, hey guys, we'll make this new thing. We'll make sure it's, everything is cool and everything. But at the end of the day, in reality, you guys are paying a lot more than what you're paying for your internet right now.
Mm-hmm. And independent journalism, don't expect to be that to see that on any website page you'll access, because your provider will not support independent journalism, because
Exactly.
each company aligns themselves with either Republican or Democrat. And if you're on like a Republican,
But I had an idea though.
company, then you won't see Democrats and vice versa, and independent journalism.
I had an idea though. Why don't you guys move to the UK? Save you.
Oh, sure. Oh,
No.
Save
oh
you guys
boy,
time.
that's a lot of money, man.
Hey, I'm
Like,
just saying
a lot of
though, man.
money.
I'm just saying, man. I just thought if you guys moved to the UK, it would have saved you a lot of time, instead of you paying for bills on internet and stuff like that. But it does affect streamers, YouTubers, because I know this. I've got a friend who is a streamer, and he legit was talking about this net thing the other day, and he was saying, "Oh, dude, that it will affect some streamers who have American friends or streamers who have people that watch in the US, so it will affect them big time." So I'm just saying, sign it, get it sorted, get it done before it's too late. If you don't get it sorted, you're screwed.
What about you, Marvel DC fan? You're a Canadian, right? So what are your viewpoints here?
I mean, it's just it just feels like just really wrong. Like the fact that, for one, paying to use YouTube, like literally just casually use it, and then having to pay on top of that. Like, oh man, like, there's no words, but like just sheer disappointment. But yeah, I hope we don't have to go through that. So there's that. So.
Yep. What about you, Inspector? What are your wise words of wisdoms for the people watching?
Just call your senators and make sure the bill doesn't pass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yep. And that is going to be it for the show, guys.
And guys, just before we say, I have to apologize on my part for being late. So I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, better late than never.
That's true.
That's true.
We're gonna now end the podcast, and we're gonna go down and have people say where you guys can find them. Also, I'm finally kind of free now, so I'm gonna be able to make some videos, and I'm gonna make some Death Stranding videos here and there, and also some other videos I may have created, like some unboxing videos that I've done like a year ago. I may put on and all that. But if you guys enjoy my content, want to see more, hit that subscribe button. You also like this podcast, hit the like button. Also comment below and let us know what you guys thought about the Game Awards, PSX, Disney, buying Fox, Star Wars, etc. And also, you can find me on Twitter, which I'll also link that in the description box below. And we're going to start off with Marvel DC fan. Where can they find you at?
Well, if you want to find me just doing stuff because, free country and all that, you can follow my YouTube channel, which is Marvel DC Fan X99. If you want to talk to me directly on Twitter, you can follow me at Marvel DC Fan X99. Facebook too, just Marvel DC Fan, but I don't really use it that much. And I mean, not really much going on right now for the channel. Like next week, we're going to be starting Injustice 2, so yeah, there's that. And then
did I just hear you? Did I just hear you say you're gonna do Injustice?
Yes.
Pog chap.
Yeah. And I actually have something planned tomorrow for my Twitch, which I actually just put out a video explaining what I'm going to be doing. So make sure you check that out. I'll have a link to it if you check it out. But yeah, that's basically it. Like, you can subscribe, comment, share, like my videos, all that stuff. And yeah, guys.
Inspector, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at the Inspector, and I have a quick recommendation. I just read Astro City. It's a comic book. It's really good. Everyone should go out and buy Astro City. It's really good. So
I agree.
there you go.
Also, you should also buy the Doomsday Clock. I have my copy
Yes,
right
buy
here.
Yes.
I've read it probably like 2 or 3 times already. So
Yeah, go buy
good one.
Doomsday Clock.
Also, the second issue will be coming out in a week or 2, something like that.
2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah.
The Wednesday after Christmas.
Yes. So it's going to be pretty good. A good late Christmas present, so to speak. Also, Claudia, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitch, which is at twitch.tv/Taladia Plays. I am currently playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. We are doing Heroes vs. Villains Galactic Assault, and we're also doing the campaign DLC. So we'll be doing that in the next coming days. You can also find my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Taladia Plays. I am, I did a, what's it called, speculation stroke discussion video. I haven't done any videos as of recently, guys, because there's not much big things I can really do at the moment. I probably will look to give you guys a channel update video just explaining what the situation is with my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter, which is @mtaladia. And if you guys like all this stuff, make sure you hit the like button, on all my videos and stuff like Injustice, Batman Arkham Knight. Make sure you check those out. And and make sure you also come by Twitch and give that follow button, because I do stream a lot more, 4 days a week.
Nice. Wait, the campaign DLC already came out? That's free?
Yeah, that's free, completely free. And Finn and Captain Phasma are released.
Okay, cool. Also, SoundCloud. You guys can check us out on SoundCloud. The file will be posted probably the next day, and also it'll be the link will be in the description box below. But guys, this is the Overleveled Podcast signing off.
See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
Take care.